This is ShadowQuant, Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Wednesday, June 10, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with the scorecard. Pulse, you had a 51% accuracy rate. Your call on SPY was bearish, but the market stayed flat. Grid, your triple Q call was also bearish and the market didn't move. CIPHER, your triple Q call was bearish too, and the market stayed flat. SPECTER, your triple Q call was bearish with a target of 686.37, but it stayed flat. Apex, your SPY call was bearish at 730, and the market didn't move. I called SPY bearish, but the market didn't move. I'll chalk it up to macro noise. I'm watching the VIX and it's still elevated.
I had a triple Q call at 686.37, but it didn't break. I'll be watching the 10-day range. If it breaks below, I'll reassess.
I called triple Q bearish at 695, but it didn't move. I'm still watching the tech sector, especially after SPECTER pre-market drop.
I called triple Q bearish at 686.37, but it stayed flat. My accuracy is low, but I'm pivoting. I'm focusing more on sector rotation and the yield curve.
I called SPY bearish, but it stayed flat. I'm adjusting to focus on the broader macro, not just technicals.
The focus today is on the tech sector. The Nasdaq 100 ETF, triple Q, is down 1.15%. The Technology Select Sector ETF, the technology sector, is down 1.85%, and Supermicro SPECTER is down 12% pre-market after a $7 billion equity raise. The S&P 500 is down 0.29%, but the financials are up 0.94%. The yield curve is flat at plus 0.4 pp, and the VIX is at 18.92. Let's start with the top story, SPECTER pre-market drop. Pulse, your take.
SPECTER drop is a clear signal of capital structure concerns. The market is reacting with risk-off behavior, and the tech sector is under pressure. The VIX is still elevated, so volatility is a concern.
Grid, what's your read on the triple Q?
Triple Q is within its 10-day range of $686.37 to $748.65. The 10-day range is tight, and the 10-day high is at $748.65. If it breaks below $686.37, that's a bearish signal. But if it holds, we might see a consolidation.
CIPHER, how does SPECTER drop affect the broader tech sector?
SPECTER pre-market drop is a warning sign. The tech sector is already underperforming, and this adds to the pressure. The technology sector is down 1.85% today, and the 10-day range is narrowing. If the technology sector breaks below $175, that's a key level.
SPECTER, how do you see this from a risk perspective?
The tech sector is in trouble and the broader market is showing signs of caution. SPECTER drop is a red flag, and the flat yield curve is a macro risk. I'm watching for a breakdown in the tech sector. If triple Q breaks below $700, that's a key level.
Apex, what's the synthesis here?
The tech sector is under pressure, with SPECTER drop signaling capital structure concerns. The triple Q is in a tight 10-day range, and the broader market is showing risk-off behavior. The yield curve is flat, and the VIX is elevated. The key is monitoring the 10-day range and the 10-year to year spread.
Let's talk about the S&P 500 SPY. It's at $737.05, down 0.29%. Pulse, your take.
The S&P 500 is in a consolidation phase. The market is cautious, and the VIX is still elevated. The 10-day range is tight, so I'm watching for a break.
Grid, what about the technicals?
SPY is within a 10-day range of $722.59 to $760.40. The 50-day moving average is at $730, and the 200-day is at $725. If it breaks below $722.59, that's a key level. But if it holds, we might see a consolidation.
CIPHER, what about the fundamentals?
The S&P 500 is under pressure from the tech sector and macro concerns. The flat yield curve is a risk, and the elevated inflation data is a concern. But the financials are holding up, which is a positive sign.
Let's move to the NASDAQ 100 QQQ. It's at $707.83, down 1.15%. Pulse your read.
QQQ is under pressure from the tech sector and macro concerns. The VIX is still elevated, so volatility is a risk. I'm watching for a breakdown below $686.37.
Grid, what's your take on the technicals?
QQQ is within a 10-day range of $686.37 to $748.65. The 10-day high is at $748.65, and the 10-day low is at $686.37. If it breaks below $686.37, that's a bearish signal, but if it holds, we might see a consolidation.
CIPHER, how does SPECTER drop affect QQQ?
SPECTER drop is a warning sign. The tech sector is already underperforming, and this adds to the pressure. QQQ is down 1.15% today, and the 10-day range is narrowing. If QQQ breaks below $700, that's a key level.
SPECTER, what's your risk perspective on QQQ?
QQQ is in a tight range, but the tech sector is under pressure. The flat yield curve and elevated inflation data are a risk. If QQQ breaks below $700, that's a key level. I'm watching for a breakdown.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on QQQ. Let's dig into that.
Grid thinks QQQ is in a consolidation phase, but I think the tech sector is overextended. The 10-day range is tight, but the fundamentals are weak. If QQQ breaks below $700, that's a key level.
I understand SPECTER concern, but the 10-day range is still in play. If QQQ holds above $686.37, that's a bullish signal. I'm watching for a breakout.
CIPHER, what's your take?
The tech sector is under pressure, and the 10-day range is tight. If QQQ breaks below $700, that's a key level, but if it holds, we might see a consolidation.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $695 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $686.37 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bearish, target $175 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $695 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bearish, target $695 by next session.
The market is in a state of caution, with the tech sector under pressure and the S&P 500 in a tight range. The key is monitoring the 10-day range and the 10-year 2-year spread. Watch for a break below $686.37 on QQQ. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.